On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us. And he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made my life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of ace. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette, asked me for a light, and the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough to count when the dealing's done."
Welcome back to Rural America Live. I'm Christina Loren, and we are honored to have Kenny Rogers here with us tonight. Now, you have quite a history of generosity and helping others. It was actually you and your manager, Ken Cragen, who started Hands Across America.
Hands Across America, yeah.
1986.
Yeah, and he stuck me out in the desert by myself out with a bunch of people, and I think he said we wouldn't get anybody out there if I didn't go. And when I went, we had plenty of people.
And the whole thing, 6.5 million people joined hands. I was one of those people,
Were you?
and I will always remember it.
How old were you?
6 years old.
Oh, see, we had a lot of those.
But you know what? It was just one of those things. Nobody's done anything like it ever since, and you helped a lot of people.
Ken Cragen is like, he thinks bigger than everybody else. And that's what I loved about him, you know. My manager now does the same way. He doesn't think of what you do today, it's how will today impact tomorrow.
That's good.
And that's a great way to think.
Absolutely. Now, $34 million were raised, and that went to help people who were homeless or food insecure. So you changed a lot of lives by doing that, and you've done a lot of amazing things for other people.
I hope so. You know, this business gives you a lot of opportunities to do good things. And if you're not selfish, if you really care about people, you'll use that and use it wisely. And I've tried to do that.
And it's, I think, helped you out with your longevity.
Yeah,
Another
I do
thing,
too.
you know, you never got involved in alcohol or drugs,
No.
and it's so...
I have never had a drink in my life. I've never smoked. I never did. I lived through the 60s. So it's hard to say I didn't do any drugs. But I didn't do a lot.
You're friends with Mickey Newberry.
Yeah, that says it all. You know, it was, it's funny because I've been a person, like right now, my wife is sick as a dog. And my boys were sick. And now she's sick. And I'm the oldest and I feel great. So I don't know how that works. But I think it's because I also am not a clean freak. You know, she goes around, she purifies everything. I told her, so you don't have any stuff in your body. You need to get some filth in your body. I have a lot of it.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving back. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a brighter
performed on We Are the World. I mean, that was huge to have all those artists come together.
Very humbling. You get there, and I don't care how big you think you are, when you get in a room with those people, you are one of many.
Stevie
and
Wonder.
It was great because all the parts had been written out, so they knew who was going to sing which line. And it was like, what's his name, had a sign he put on the door. He said, check your egos at the door. And that means we're going to tell you what to sing it, or go home.
You know, you also help out children with special needs. You've done this in your hometown of Houston, and you've also done it in Missouri at the Kenny Rogers Children's Center. What does that mean to you?
Well, you know, it's nice. That started 25 years ago, I guess, and it started with a horse. I used to raise Arabian horses, and I met these guys there, and I just fell in love with their attitudes about what they were trying to do. And I said, I've got a stallion. Why don't I give you this horse? You can sell him. You get your seed money. And they sold him for like $75,000, which I think was less than he was worth. But that got him rolling, got started. And then I've been in there about every few years. I go through into a concert. And it's an incredible place. And you don't realize when you do something like that how important it is. I mean, last time we were in there, I met a little boy that had no arms and no legs. And he had like fake legs. And he said, race you across the room. And I thought, okay, he beat me. I mean, I tried and he beat me. You know, but it was so wonderful.
That is great.
To see his attitude, and he was happy, and that's all you can do.
That's all you can do, and you're helping children who have special needs. I think that's just a great cause, a great way to
you know, it started off as cerebral palsy. Is what we were doing, because I think the originators had children that had that problem. And now, and the great thing about it is we don't charge the parents anything. It's free to people who bring their kids there. And you go down there and you see these kids and you go, oh my God, I mean, how lucky have I been in my life to have children that are healthy and didn't have to deal with this. So I'm just glad I had enough value to add something to their lives.
Officially, you have announced retirement. You think you're going to stick to it?
I think so. I mean, I will tell you that Justin and Jordan, I have twin boys that are 12 years old, and they said, Dad, what are you going to do when you quit singing? I said, well, I thought I would come home and spend all my time with you. And they both went, oh my God. So I see now that wasn't a great idea. But I mean, I feel that, you know, I have other children, and I feel like I missed this part of their life, and I didn't want to do that. I want to be there whether they want me or not. You know, it's so cute. We took them, we started our farewell tour in Africa, South Africa, and we went down there because I wanted them to have the safari experience. So when they're going out, I gave them both a camera. I said, I want you to take pictures of the things that excite you when you get out there, and when we get home, we'll put them together in a book, and you can show your friends at school. I said, oh, great. We came back, they had 150 selfies.
Wow.
Every picture was, I think a giraffe got in the middle of it, accidentally.
Accidentally got into their selfie.
That's 12-year-olds for you.
That's this new internet day and age.
It is.
You know, they've got the phones, they can get any sort of information they want right at the palm of their hands.
And they're so smart. I mean, I can't do things on my computer, and they say, let me show you how to do this. And they do it in 30 seconds. I'm going, wait a minute, what'd you do? Then call me again if you need me.
Well, speaking of photography, you happen to be an amazing photographer.
Well, you know, I'm what I call an impulsive obsessive. I impulsively get involved with things, and then I obsess with them. And that's what happened with photography. And at the time, I was at the peak of my success, and I hired a guy who was Ansel Adams' assistant, John Sexton, to come out with me and travel with me and teach me Ansel's zone system, which is light through 1 through 10. And he did that, and I got really obsessed with it. And I used to fly out, take pictures, fly back home, print them, bring them out the next night, show them to the band. And it was so much fun because I had John to kind of steer me. He showed me how to crop, and I became, I think, a really good photographer.
You absolutely did. I mean, I love the picture of Michael Jackson and Bubbles. Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
You know, it's so funny. My wife and kids went to L.A. and they went to the Hall of Fame out there, and Michael Jackson is in there. There's a picture of him with Bubbles, my picture.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they didn't give me credit for it. I don't care.
I thought something that was very interesting about your background, there's a lot there. You were a cheerleader. I thought that was fun.
Well,
we had a good reason for it.
That was by accident. I mean, I wanted to play football. Now, I'm in Houston, and you have to know that the temperature is like 95 in the winter. So I put on all my pads, and I'm trying to impress this one girl. And I get out on the field, and I literally pass out. So the next thing you know, they're waking me up in the dressing room. All my pads are gone, and they're waking me up. And I decided I would become a cheerleader. She was a cheerleader, so I did that for a while. I can't find any pictures of me as a cheerleader. We've really kind of, anybody out there that has a picture of me as a cheerleader, send it to me.
Something else I thought was really interesting is that your son, Kenny Jr., does the voice for Extra, that extra, extra.
He wrote that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he sang it all. I think they've changed it this year, but boy, he made a ton of money with that.
You wrote about a lot of this in your book, best-selling memoir that you wrote, Luck or Something Like It. I read it, I couldn't put it down. I found myself laughing out loud on so many occasions. How long did it take you to put this book together?
Well, I would say 6 months maybe, and it's an interesting story. I had a lady who was writing it with me, and I would sit and tell her the stories, and she would write it. And about halfway through it, she got breast cancer, and she died. And so in order to finish it, I had to do it myself. So I went back from the very start and put things in my words. But I didn't remember a lot of those events. But fortunately, my band has been with me, most of them 40 years. And they know, they said, well, remember when you did this? Oh yeah, I remember now. And once they reminded me, I remembered it. And that's where I got all the events.
Wow. And you know, that really says something as well, that your band has been with you for 40 years. You must treat them right.
Well, I learned how to hire, I didn't learn how to fire. But they're good guys, they're great band members. And they literally, I'm not exaggerating, have been with me, most of them 40 years or more.
Wow. Okay, well, we're going to pause on that note and come back with much, much more. We are talking to the legendary Kenny Rogers right here on Rural America Live. We'll be right back.
Well, I know it's late and I know you're weary, and I know your plans don't include me. Still here we are, both of us lonely. Both of us lonely. We've got tonight.
Who needs tomorrow?
Let's make it last.
Oh, let's find a way.
Turn out the light.
Oh, come take my hand now.
We got tonight, babe. Why don't we stay? We got tonight.